Anyway, okay. So I love subliminal audios. I first started listening to them about 3 or 4 years ago when I first got interested in NLP and subconscious reprogramming. I am since certified, board certified hypnotherapist, NLP practitioner. Um, so we have hypnotherapy, EFT tapping, time techniques, like all kinds of really cool stuff. And I enjoy subconscious reprogramming so much because we get to the root of things without necessarily having to associate with past negative experiences and emotions. We can release negative thoughts, patterns, choices, behaviors, associations. Uh, I did a technique once where I had this very specific memory that brought up these very specific negative feelings, and we just subconsciously shifted my association with the memory so that it didn't feel as difficult for me anymore. And I was able to stop focusing on it all the time. How often does that happen to you where you just, there's something that doesn't feel good and it's all you can think about? It's all you can focus on and you don't move past it. I love subconscious reprogramming because it allows us to move past things quicker. Sometimes transformation gets to be easy. You have to pick it. You have to choose it. You have to choose yourself. You have to choose finding the time to do the work and staying open minded to possibilities. So if you're super close minded, it's not going to work because your subconscious is going to block it. But the thing about our subconscious mind is 95% of it is it's all subconscious. We don't know, right? Our conscious mind is like 5% of what's happening, what the programming is inside our brain. And it's like you think about the iceberg, right? You can see the tip top of the iceberg. That's your conscious mind. And the rest of it is your subconscious mind. And it drives the bus, it runs the show. So when you consciously know something and you're like, why am I still choosing to do X, Y, and Z or not do X, Y, and Z? It's because your subconscious reprogramming or your subconscious programming is blocking you across the board. So through this work, we can shift that narrative across the board. It's really great. This is not scripted. Let me go on Substack and talk about this. So subliminal audios are awesome because you can do them while you're doing other things. They don't require a whole lot of effort other than for you to decide you want to listen to them. And I play subliminal audios in the background when I'm getting ready, when I'm meditating, when I'm doing work, going for a walk, working out, which I admittedly don't do much of, anytime I want, doing laundry, all of that. They're great. And I'll just pick whichever one feels the most resonant to me in that moment and listen to it. Now, about a year ago, when I first learned how to make subliminal audios, one of my favorite clients in the whole world asked me if I could make her a subliminal audio that was related to her human design chart. Now, I am a projector in human design. Projectors need to be invited in to share our wisdom and our knowledge. That was a big, beautiful invitation. So, shout out to her. Thank you so much for being amazing. She hired me to create that human design centered subliminal audio for her. And it gave me the idea that that's something so many people could use. So, do you know your human design? If you don't, let me know. You can get a free human design chart on my website, vickeryandco.com. You'll see it right away. Pull your free human design chart. Human design is a modern scientific self discovery system based on several different ancient sciences and philosophies. It is all about learning to live into yourself fully and completely without apology. There's nothing to change or fix in your human design. You are designed exactly right, but you do need to know it and understand it so that you can live into it and use it to your advantage instead of fighting against it, which happens all the time. Why does it happen all the time? It happens all the time because society and societal programming tell us we aren't supposed to be who we naturally are. So, one of the things I hear the most often when we do human design readings is how validating it feels. Like, oh, this thing I've pushed against my whole life, I'm supposed to do that. I'm supposed to feel that. I'm supposed to behave that way. Yes, you are. Live into it. I've had a couple clients say, oh, how do I fix that? You don't fix it. You work with it. Your human design is what it is. It cannot be changed. So you learn to work with it. This is where subconscious reprogramming and subliminal audios come into play. I've spent about 6 months creating very beautiful custom 30-minute audios for human design type, strategy, authority, profile line, environment, and all 9 centers, both defined and undefined. So, wherever you're struggling to feel alignment or to be embodied in your human design, these subliminal audios will help you just subtly shift and be more aligned and feel more embodied. The thing about alignment is, hey, Steph, how are you? The thing about alignment is that you don't work at it. You don't create it. You become it. You are it, right? So if you're like trying so hard to be aligned and embodied, it's not going to work. It's a subtle thing. It's in the things that you choose. It's in the way you show up. It's in taking radical responsibility for yourself, your own thoughts, choices, actions, and behaviors, and feeling into what is right for you. So these human design subliminal audios are amazing because you can. So your type is, so there are 5 types of in human design: manifestors, generators, manifesting generators, projectors, and reflectors. Each of them have all of their own quirks and tricks and wonderful things to know. I have an audio for each of those. Then we have your strategy. This is how you are to do, how you are to be in the world. That can be a very tricky thing to do. So we have audios for that. We also have next type, strategy, authority. This is your decision making, how you go out into the world and make decisions. Somebody like my friend Steph right here, Steph Graham, who popped on, she has her sacral authority. She just knows it's a hell yes or a fuck no all the time. And we want to learn what that feels like in your body and let your body give you the answer before your mind can manipulate it, because minds can be so manipulative. They can be so easily shifted and changed. I have a splenic authority. Splenic is the oldest known anthropological safety mechanism, the spleen. And it's life or death. It's like, this is good, this is healthy, this is safe, or it's not. And we know it really quickly, but that knowing doesn't always stay. So we have to be really in tune with those moments so that we can be like, oh, that is for me, or that is not for me, right? There are other types. There's emotional, there are a ton of types of authorities. I have an audio for all of them. Type, strategy, authority, profile lines. Your profile lines are amazing. They are how you move around the world, how you interact with other people. I'm a 1-3 profile line. The 1 is the investigator. If I get curious about something, I want to know everything about it. I'm a deep diver. No basic knowledge for me. I want to go all the way in and learn everything about it. And the 3 is trial and error. The 3 is doing it and doing it out loud and sharing the journey so that other people can see themselves in it and learn from it. I'm doing that right now. I'm line 3ing it right now by just talking about this as I'm in this process of releasing these audios and promoting it. I'm doing this out loud. We learn by trial and error. We learn by putting it out there and making mistakes and figuring it out and trying it again differently. That's resilience, my friends. Resilience. So we have type, strategy, authority, profile line, environment. Your environment is such a fun thing that comes from your variables in human design. Again, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, pull your chart. Let's do a reading. I'll tell you all about it. But each of us have an environment that we are best aligned in. Mine is kitchens wet. Could it be an actual kitchen? Absolutely. But it's also wherever ideas are being cooked up, wherever there's a lot of engagement and commotion, and people are coming up with ideas and building things. And when it says kitchen's wet, I do really well, strangely, in humid environments. And I can feel my creativity kick up a notch if I'm somewhere in a humid environment. And it happens specifically in the summer for me here. I'm in Chicago. It's humid as hell. And it looks like we're getting a storm right now also. Stephanie, there's something about you and me that makes a storm happen. I don't know. I was live on Stephanie's radio show podcast this weekend, and we had a terrible storm. Anyway, so again, we've got type, strategy, authority, profile line, environment, and then if you actually know your human design chart, all of the shapes in the middle, that's your body graph. Those are your centers. So we have the head center, the ajna, which is this third eye center, your throat, your G center, which is your sense of self, the heart, will, ego, which is kind of off a little bit to the right on your chart, the sacral, the spleen, the emotional solar plexus, and then the root. So your centers can either be defined or undefined. How can you tell the difference? Well, if it's colored in on your chart, it's defined. And if it's white on your chart, it's undefined. One is not good and one is not bad. The difference is if it's a defined center, it means you have very consistent ways of being in that area. And if it's an undefined center, it means you absorb and amplify the energies of the people around you. So, for example, I have an undefined emotional solar plexus. What does that mean? It means that I absorb and amplify the energies of the people around me. And goodness gracious, let me tell you how very, very true that is. Hi, Margaret. How are you, beautiful? It is so true to absorb and amplify the energies of the people around me. For years, for my whole life, I'll be at the grocery store and all of a sudden I'll be overwhelmed with sadness. I don't know why. What's happening? What's going on? Somebody around me with a defined solar plexus is going through their big emotional wave. And they're shooting those emotional wave energies off like crazy, and I'm absorbing them. So it took me years to protect my energy, to recognize, is this emotion mine or not? The people I struggle the most to separate my emotions from are my children, because I have two children with defined emotional solar plexus. And goodness, it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work. So being aligned with all of these different parts of your human design chart can be very challenging. It's a lot to learn. It's almost like speaking a whole new language. I've been studying it for over 3 years, almost 4 years now, and there's still stuff to learn, which is really cool. But what I love about the human design subliminal audios I created is it doesn't have to be that hard. You get to pick an audio with whatever areas you think, maybe you're struggling with the most. So you can just get one audio, which is great. There are 52 to choose from, but you just need one that aligns with your human design chart. There are only 14 that apply to you as an individual. Your type, strategy, authority, profile line, environment, and then your 9 centers, and you get to pick if it's defined or undefined. So we have them in packages. You can get a package of 5, which is the foundational type, strategy, authority, profile, and environment, or you can get the centers, undefined or defined, and then you can also get a package of 14, which is all of them. They're 30 minutes long, and here's something that I think is really important that most people don't talk about. I spent over a week figuring out what sound matched each of these elements in the chart best. So from all of them, all 14 different options, I have partnered music that will really resonate with each element of your human design chart. And then it just sounds like meditation music. It just sounds like peaceful, lovely music in the background. You can't hear the subconscious reprogramming that's happening underneath, but they are affirmations designed to help you easily embody and align with this element of your chart. They are perfect for getting you out of one situation into another. If you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling frustrated, they're great for relaxing. They're great for just sort of pushing yourself into the next phase of alignment and embodiment. And I'm really proud of them. I spent, like I said, 6 months creating these, doing the research, coming up with the scripts, finding the right music, recording them, editing the recording. And then I'll just tell you what, true transparency, here's my line 3, right at the heart of everything. It took us probably a month to figure out how to deliver these to you once you purchase them easily so that this can be a fun, easy process for you. It was tricky. 52 different audios where you only need up to 14 of them. What was that process going to look like? We figured it out. We have beta tested it. It works. The people who are using them love them, which is fantastic. But it was a lot of work to do. So if you are curious about human design, if you're curious about subconscious reprogramming, subliminal audios, I would love to hear your questions. If you have questions, pop in and ask them. But this is such a fun, easy way to live into yourself, to feel more aligned and embodied without having to overthink it, because they just play in the background, whatever you're doing, which is So much fun. And then on Tuesdays, I do an Ask Me Anything office hours. You're welcome to join me and ask questions, but I would love for you to check them out. Each audio is 30 minutes long, but you can play them, repeat as much as you want, or just listen to 10 or 15 minutes of each audio. Doesn't matter. Or get all set, a set of 14 and just play them in order, right? You got 7 hours of awesome audios and just stay aligned all day and feel really good. You will feel a difference. Most people tell me within listening, maybe 3 or 4 days in a row, they just sort of feel a subtle shift in awareness. Their clarity is stronger. They feel a little bit more calm, a little bit more willing to sort of surrender and trust the process. It's all very subtle shifting, which is really, really nice. And so I just felt like, I don't know, I wanted to come in and do a really random, unexpected Substack Live, never done that before, and talk to you about subconscious reprogramming, about subliminal audios, about human design, because these things have changed my life. See, I don't do anything that I would not highly recommend. I have tried it all. I have experienced these things, and that is when I share with you what I think of them and how they're working for me, and if I think they can support you. We have to remember that none of this is one size fits all. You have to find the things that work for you and resonate for you. And there may be a very strong trial and error process, right? Try things out, be open-minded, play, see what fits, see what feels good, and then make decisions from that. I call that the 3 R's from the Brave Method, my book. Fuck fearless, making the brave leap. I break down my Brave Method. And the 3 R's are reassessment, reframing, and resilience. It takes intentional effort to go, okay, what worked? What didn't work? Did I like the way this felt? Did I like the results that I got? Do I want more of this? Do I want less of this? And then to change what needs to be changed and show up again differently. That is how we transform. That is how we grow. And your transformation is going to look different than everybody else's transformation. And that's a good thing. We are not cookie cutter people. We don't want cookie cutter solutions. Your life has to be yours and yours alone. I'm so glad y'all popped in and stuck around. The other thing that I'm really spending a lot of time on is educating people on what's happening in Costa Rica. In January, I'm taking a group of incredible heart-centered humans, conscious leaders to the Imaloa Institute in Costa Rica. This space called to me. I don't have any other way to describe it. 2 years ago, I got this deep awareness that I needed to host a retreat in this space. And if I'm being super honest with you, I hadn't expected that. I'm not a jungle girl. I'm a south of France kind of girl, lavender fields. I like the ocean. I'm a luxury girl. However, this property really just kept showing up until I said yes to it, which was a huge commitment on my part. And then this past March, I got to go to the facility and check it out. And it's spectacular. So it is in the middle of the jungle. It truly is. But it is also incredibly luxurious. The rooms are very unique and beautiful, so well appointed. The food is spectacular. It's all anti-inflammatory, plant-based, gluten-free, dairy-free food, which might freak people out because not everybody's into that. I have one client who's like, there's no meat at all. There isn't. But I'm telling you, I'm 50. I've been in perimenopause since I was 43. I've had 4 babies. My body never felt better than the 3 or 4 days I was at the Imaloa Institute because that food is spectacular. Tasted amazing, and my body just reacted really beautifully to it. There's something magical about the land. There are a bunch of ley lines there. And I truly felt as I was standing there, like there was a golden cord that came up from the core of the earth through my body and connected me to the cosmos. I was alive with the vibration of the universe. I was part of the universe. And as loud as the jungle is, and it is loud, I felt silence and stillness for the first time in maybe my entire life, perhaps. It was as if all of the busyness in my head just stilled and I could hear my heart and I could hear my soul and I could really connect. It was magical. And here's what I can tell people who want to join us in Costa Rica. We do still have about 13 spots left. Prices start at $2,900 and they go up from there if you want a solo room, if you want roommates, depending on what you're doing. I can't tell you exactly what your transformation will be, but I can promise you that you will transform. So in addition to just being in this space, just saying yes to taking time for yourself, choosing peace, choosing rest, choosing to step away from the chaos of the world and find time for yourself. In addition to that, I personally will be guiding people through somatic movement every day. We'll do group hypnosis, EFT tapping, not every day, but spread throughout the week. We will do some compassionate inquiry and reassessment reflection, so parts of the Brave method spread out as well. I haven't overstacked anything because I want you to have lots of time for expansiveness and connection with these other amazing folks who will be at the retreat. And then we have some wonderful things happening with local Indigenous practitioners. We have a blue clay ceremony happening on the riverbank. I actually did this ceremony and truly it was truly shifting. It was truly transformative. There's a little bit of healing power in the blue clay. There's healing power in touching skin, the land, the water, all of it, the group sharing. It was incredible. So we have the blue clay experience. We have, we're doing a sound bath, local Indigenous practitioners, the sound baths. Uh, I loved the one I did at Emaloa. The first most incredible sound bath I've ever done. I was at a retreat. It was a human design retreat in Mallorca, which, it was a pinch me moment. I was like, is this really my life? Like, is this happening? Am I doing this? It was amazing. We were on a mountainside in Mallorca and it was all outside. And as I got deep into a meditative state, I truly, truly all of a sudden saw myself stand up and I looked to the left and I saw my mother and my mothers and my mothers and my mothers. And I looked to the right and I saw my daughters and my daughters and my daughters and my daughters. And we're all standing. It was like we're in a field. I could see it as clear as day and I can picture it right now as clear as day. And all of a sudden I took a deep breath and we all sort of levitated. Now, I've known for a long time that I'm here to heal generational trauma. And in that moment, it was as if they were saying to me and I was saying to them, we can be free. We can be free. We can let this go. Because when we do subconscious reprogramming, when we do all of this healing and transformative work, we are able to heal 7 generations back and 7 generations forward. It matters. It's not just about you. It's not just selfish work for you. It shifts things across generations and it's magical. So we're doing a beautiful sound bath. Oh, sorry about that. We're doing a beautiful sound bath at the Emaloa Institute. We are also going to do active breath work, which is very cool, very full body experience. We have all this amazing food. We're going to spend some time at the beach and in town. So there's plenty of space to expand and explore and try new things and get to know people, but also find time for yourself in stillness and in silence and the jungle and challenge yourself and expand and explore. And I'm so excited. If anybody wants to know more about the Costa Rica retreat, just drop me a DM, make a comment here. You could go to my website, vickeryco.com. Check out the link in my bio because once we're full, we're full. There's not much I can do about that, but I would love to have you all join us. And I'd love to answer any questions that you might have about human design, about subconscious reprogramming, about the human design subliminal audios, which are so, so good. And I worked so hard to create them and I'm so proud of them. And the folks who have tried them are just absolutely loving them. Transformation does not always have to be easy, but the first step is choosing yourself. The first step is saying, I want to show up for myself. I want to be available to myself. I want to hear myself. I want to rediscover myself. And then you're going to pick and choose and you're going to play around and find out which things are the most aligned for you, which feel good. We can teach you how to understand your intuition better, where your yeses are, where your nos are. That's the kind of work I do with people all the time. In helping you take radical responsibility for yourself, you help everyone around you. You support everyone around you. That's the gift of this work. It's not selfish. It's empowering. And remember that empowerment is only something you can give yourself. Empowerment is a self-given gift. I hope to guide, inspire, mentor, coach, support. I'll be your cheerleader, but I don't empower you. You do. When you choose yourself, when you choose something like understanding your human design or subliminal audios or going on a retreat or doing subconscious reprogramming or journaling or reassessment, reflection, whatever it is, when you choose any of those things, you choose yourself and you empower yourself. I can guide and lead, but I cannot empower you. That's your job. So, all right, I'm done. This was so fun. Thank you all for tuning in. I'm happy to answer any questions you have. Thanks for putting up with me on my Monday morning. I'm a mess right now, but that's okay because I felt like this message was really important and I was delighted to share it with all of you. Hope I'll see you around. Thank you so much. I'm Heather Vickery, and I'm going to remind you again today, always, every day to choose yourself bravely because you are worth it. Take care. Bye.